Open it
Open it
up.
up. Body Armor, our next sponsor. We don't do any free sponsorships, but we're giving you a shout out. Free sponsorship with the Cold Ones Cup. It's first christened. First christened. Okay. What's going on,
Get up.
everyone? First thing we got to do is give a shout out to our sponsor with this insanely awesome brand new hat, the cap hat, the auto hat, the Philly drinkers, the classic, the white on black, the trucker. It looks cool when you want to fade it. It looks cool when you want to tilt it. It looks cool when you want to wear it front waist. I just showed you 3 different hats right there, ladies and gentlemen. And now we got the cup. We got the cup. Cold Ones combo. Look at that glass right there.
It's
Truly,
the
let's
best
both
cup. It's the
Truly,
best
let's
cup.
both take a sip. Let's show the audience how to sip out of this thing. Cheers, brother. Oh my God. Ladies and gentlemen,
PhillyDrinkers.com.
makes every drink smoother. PhillyDrinkers.com, best merch in the game. Hone it down for the city. We love them. Alex, we love you. We're back. We're dangerous. We're here to show out. We're going to get to some sad topics in a moment. Can't see that. Roulette is on the table. We're playing virtual roulette.
We
Trillies in
gotta
Philly.
open up the show. You got
Yeah.
25 cents. We're gonna put 3 on number 3, and let's put it on 00 too.
Throw a nickel on 0. Yeah. Throw a nickel on green.
What do we got here to open the show?
What an intro. What's going on, everyone? This is another episode of Cold Ones Conversations. I am one half of this dynamic
34.
duo.
Bryce Harper's old number. God damn it.
R.I.P. Well, I mean, it kind of figures. We'll get into that in a moment. I am one half of this dynamic duo. This is Cold Ones Conversations. I go by many names, Hollywood Hair to be one, but I also go by my birth name, Harry Heaps. I am joined by the most sensational, bodational, sensational. I said it twice. Brandon, the bod, Petrilli. Trilly, how you doing today, brother?
It would have been better if we hit a number there. That would have been kind of cool.
Yep.
It was a little lame last week. Kind of sucked. We were all hyped up about the Titans moving in. I was so excited, and I a lot of comments saying they felt the passion behind it, the love behind it. For them to come up small like that, this is Phillies talk for the day. That's all we got to say about it.
Yeah, man. I mean, they're going to be a force to be reckoned with. I think that it just we got to recognize. I mean, I know we're a few days past, but you guys got spanked at home, dog. Like, that was crazy. It was game 6 is what it was.
If you want more, go to BSP Podcast. I put out an episode yesterday.
No, but I got to question you about it. I got to question you because I think that
go to BSP Podcast.
We knew game 6, it was like all the energy's going for the backs, right? The D-backs, as they're known, the douchebags. And we don't cuss on this show. But in the top, bottom of the 8, game 7, all 3 get struck out, couldn't find the ball, couldn't, for God's sake, fight. What's going through your head going into game 7? Bring me through that. Bring me through it.
I mean,
what was there?
You were just hoping that the bats could find it again. That's all. Ranger pitched well. Jeff Hoffman sucks. You give up the lead. They get it back 2-1. And then immediately the next inning, you give it right back 2 runs. You can't do that, man. You just can't. Everything you had is just out the window. And from there, they just weren't able to get those clutch moments going again that we were used to seeing all this postseason and last. It happens. It sucks. We move on to next year, sadly.
What needs to change for this not to continue? Because here's what I'm worried about. And I just got to say this real quick. And this isn't a shot. This is just a question. Are the Phillies the next 76ers?
No. See, everybody's been saying that.
History is starting to repeat.
No, everybody's throwing that around. That's disrespectful and gross.
I haven't heard that. I think that's an original.
No, it isn't. It is not. It is not. I work in Philadelphia radio. You don't think I haven't fucking heard it all goddamn week? No, get the fuck. We don't curse.
Yeah, we don't curse. This is a clean show.
No, they're not the Sixers. The Phillies have actually made it to a World Series. They made it to a conference championship. Sixers can't get out of the second round. They're 2 totally different teams. This Phillies team, they are a one unit and then the Sixers are nothing. Like James Harden doesn't know what the hell he wants to do. That's the difference. Where you look at Bryce Harper, Schwarber, Turner, Real Muto, Castellanos, Stott, Bohm, all the Marsh. They're all boys. They all hang out with each other. They go, they drink together, they have dinner together. The Sixers aren't doing that. This team is built for the long haul. All these guys are going to be here for the next 5+ years. We'll see with Castellanos. There's people talking maybe he might be the guy that's out of here to bring in somebody else. I don't know. I like Nick. He fucks with us. I fuck with Nick. It just sucks that your big money guys that are making $800 million between the 5 of them went 4 for 32 in the last 3 games of the series.
How
like
does that
just
happen?
can't happen. That just cannot happen.
Well, and what I don't understand is when we're trying to diagnose something that's it's a dead animal that's been laying in the street for a week, right? But
go watch BSP podcast.
But we got to be real though for a minute. We got to hold it down. The people want to hear these interactions. They don't want to hear BSP.
We didn't drag you for the O's getting swept.
I'm not
All right.
I'm not dragging.
They couldn't even get a home win.
Dog, I'm not dragging. I'm just asking. I just got to ask this. What I think I'm going to place a little bit more of the blame on the city of Philadelphia, not the players. And I want to get your opinion on this because all Philly sports, honestly, besides the Eagles, they react off of the crowd. You are such a sports-centric city. I'll go out there and say it. Baltimore can't hold the light to the sports town that Philadelphia is. I recognize that. I know that. The way that you guys, the Flyers, the Sixers, the Phillies, the way that you guys interact with the crowd, it's unlike any other. But I feel like the crowd gave up on the Phillies going into Game 7, and the players felt it.
I mean, I was there in Game 6, and they gave you nothing. I didn't sit down once. I made it to right field all of a sudden. I was sitting 3 rows behind Nicky C in right field. I found my way, and I'm cheering him on. I'm letting him know, come on, Nick, we need you, brother. Yeah, it's a load of crap. The city and the bank was what got them to where they were.
I know, but then they weren't there for the final ride.
The players needed to finish, and they didn't finish. Nobody gave up on anybody. The guys at the plate, they can't put the ball in play. We talked about it before this. The 3 guys go down swinging, looking. That can't happen. That just cannot happen. And you're going to say that's on the fans? Get out of here. They can't put the ball in play. What are we supposed to do? Reach and grab it? Like,
I'm just asking. You got to ask these questions. Listen, when the president of the United States has to go in front of journalists, he's got to answer questions. What? We're not accountable? We're not going to be accountable to the fans, to the 49 people liking the shorts, to the 100+ subscribers. We're not going to be accountable. We got to be accountable. No, but I think you're right. I think enough has been said. We hold the light for the O's. We hold the light for the Phillies.
Mike Trout on the Phillies next year.
Next year, well, that would be okay. Now, let me ask you a question. Is he the solution? Is the solution more money? I don't think it is.
Why isn't it?
Listen. Hold on. There's a difference, though. The solution for the O's is more money because we don't pay anybody. So we got to put in money.
What else is another solution for this team?
I mean, dude, you just said it. You're paying $800 million to guys who didn't. They got the guys who are getting the money. Got to learn to close.
Get rid of one of them. Bring in another guy.
You get rid of Bryce. I mean,
yeah. That's what one guy called in today. We just hung up on him right away. We're like, you're a fucking idiot. I don't know.
What did he say? What did he say? Bro, by the way, before you continue, I don't need to remind you again, this is a clean show. Now go ahead.
All right.
What did the guy say who called in to the stage?
He was just like, you know what's wrong with the Phillies? It's Bryce Harper. The guy's not clutch, this and that. And I was just like,
click. Goodbye.
See ya.
See you later. See you later, alligator. You know what I mean? No, I mean,
the guy wants to trade Embiid. He wants to trade everybody. Anybody
so that guy's on a hit list. Let's make it clear. He's on a hit list.
His number's on the block list.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Whatever, man. Just like the Phillies season, opposite of the Phillies season. Our bets are rolling. Our bets are rolling here. I'm sitting at about 58%. What are you sitting at, Harold?
I'm sitting at a small 53. Listen, you've been leading the pack, dog. I was going down there. I've had a few good weeks towards the end. This past week went 4-2-1. Got that push on that under in the 48 for what game was it that I got the 48 on, the 48 and a
You
half?
were saying Chargers, right?
Chargers, the Chargers KC game. Yep, 31-17. And they, that's the thing. I remember you were laughing at me last episode because I saw it. I go 48. I'm going to take the under. And then I go, wait, 48. And you started laughing at me because I was debating over half of a point. And then I said, take the under. It just goes to show you a push. But yeah, dude, you've been leading the way. You've been having a lot better of a season these first couple of weeks than you were last year. You've been finding your numbers, dog.
Yeah, we're locked in. We're honed in on this. I mean, we could have went 6-1 last week. I mean, the only real bad bet that we put out there was that Tampa Bay favorited by 2.5.
Yeah,
Everything else, one thing goes our way, and we're 6-1 again last week. It happens. We move on. We're still up on the year, pretty decent. We're rocking and rolling. We're looking to stay that way. And just like that, I mean, we're not frauds, but there were frauds that were found out big time
Damn straight, dude.
And
I
think everybody's kind of figuring it out. And both of our birds went out and they killed frauds.
They fucking
last
killed
week.
them.
I mean, the Vens went out and they dominated.
And I thought that we should
dominate.
I thought we should start with the Ravens because your energy is low right now. Yeah. So I want to give you some energy and then let you take it off with the Eag. But let's talk about them. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about the team going into half up 28-0. Let's talk about the team that didn't allow a first down till the second half. Let's talk about the team, so-called NFC under the radar team, the Detroit Lions, as Trill would say, 5-1, coming into the bank. Every single person in national media taking the Lions outright, not even laying points.
No,
They're just taking the Lions. And what happened? What happened, ladies and gentlemen? Ocho, sponsored by Philly Drinkers. Let me say it again. Ocho, sponsored by Philly Drinkers. Dude, that was his best game since the 2019 season, brother. Since the 2019 season where that kid went 14-2, won MVP of the league only in his sophomore year. That kid balled out, dude. Got everyone involved. I mean, one of the craziest things that I can say right now about this Baltimore Ravens squad, number one, two things I'm going to make a point of. That was the first time that it really feels like that I'm hoping precipitates for the rest of the year, praying to God, where Todd Monk and Lamar Jackson completely clicked. Those play designs for Lamar Jackson were meant for one guy, Lamar fucking Jackson. He didn't force the pocket. The offensive line stepped up. He extended plays when he could. He found his receivers, and he never ran unless he wanted to. Did you notice that? The play action plays that they had, the few times that he went, that was just because the kid was having fun.
The way he was like zigzagging, like he was like Mike Vick in 03 Madden.
He looked like Shador holding up his wrist.
He was just zigzagging in the pocket. He wasn't taking off and running. He was looking downfield.
Shout out TC, as we say, zinging and zanging. Yeah, that's all he was doing, dog. You know what I'm saying? Lamar Jackson zings and zangs. I think it's wild, dude, that it's a toss-up right now that Zay Flowers might be the number one receiver on this Baltimore Ravens squad.
He's good.
I mean, dude, he is given Mark Andrews a run for his money, dog. And that felt like the first week where our offensive line was able to open up for Hill.
Andrews finally got a big taste too.
Big taste, dog. He had two of them in the bank. He was holding it down for the set. I mean, we just shut him out, dude. We shut him out. And I guess where I'll end it off at, man, is the biggest takeaway is that we finally saw that this Ravens offense can play at the same tempo and same level as this Ravens defense, which we both will fully agree that this Ravens defense is Super Bowl ready. But the offense has been in question, right? Last year on this show, if you're a longtime listener, first time, long time, I don't care. You heard me calling for the head of the defensive coordinator all year long. Fire him. He can't get our secondary involved. Kyle Hamilton looks lost out there. Kyle Hamilton, week 3, had an MVP game. Had 6 sacks that game. Week in, week out, Roquan Smith's on every single freaking tackle. Patrick Queen stepping up. Clowney, a pickup out of nowhere, is getting after the quarterback any day of the week. And all these no-name guys from injuries who've stepped up to play in the secondary are playing lights out. But now our offense is showing who we are. Now Lamar Jackson, it seems to be, has gotten rid of the stereotype, how much he got paid. And he is turning into the natural passer that we've all been waiting to see him be. And at the same time, to Trill's point, it's the first time that we've seen him be the natural passer with actual weapons. We shut out the Detroit Lions, who have one of the most dynamic offenses in the whole league, without using Odell Beckham. Because that guy is clearly, we're not going to talk about that right now. I still love OBJ, just got the black number 3 jersey, hold it down for number 3. You know what I'm saying? But dude, I couldn't be happier, man. This is big stakes. That was a big win. The Lions aren't ready to play for some big games, just like another team that we're going to get into in a moment, like those Miami Dolphins aren't ready for the big games. And yeah, dude, I'll leave it there. Go Ravens, baby.
Yeah, I mean, that really was a staple of this Dolphins team. Is just a little too early for that big game hype, you know. I mean, they really hadn't played much of anybody. They played the Chiefs week 1, but that was without Chris Jones, without Kelsey. So I mean, this was the first real test that they got, and they failed miserably. If this was a close game coming down, touchdown game, 10-point game, okay, fine. They're good. Watch out, Detroit might have a shot at the NFC, but they get absolutely worked. Just not even belong out there on the field. Offensively, defensively, it was gross. It was absolutely gross, and I love to see it. I love to see that team suck.
I'm not going to throw any shade, but I thought that maybe Jimmy was getting in touch with Johnny, telling him to call, steal a few calls. You know what I'm saying? I thought it was a little hardball insider trade. You know what I'm saying?
Maybe inside Detroit. Yeah, maybe.
Inside Detroit,
what a crazy thing. We don't talk college football much on here, even though I do need USC to come back and cover 6 points here for another 120 on the week, but that'd be nice.
Have you tasted anything today?
What?
Has anything hit today?
Well, if USC covers 6.5 points here, that's another 120, and we're up $1,000 on the month, and that'd be kind of fire.
You're up a G note?
Yeah, bro. Well, if this hit, I'm up like $900.
That's phenomenal, dog.
Between the system and baseball, our bets, I've been hitting nicely.
You were doing really good in baseball until,
Well, yeah, and the system ran out. It happens. But yeah, I hit a couple nice same game parlays, some parlettes, but and then the HTPs are about to hit and fire off at the end of this show here, and we're gonna keep it rolling.
Damn straight.
We're looking good. We're red hot. Just like that. One time. The Philadelphia Eagles are red hot again. I mean, Jalen Hurts is a little banged up. It's a little concerning with the knee brace on, but this defense, the way that they gave up 10 points to the best offense ever, the highest scoring, the best running game, they moved the ball all over the field. Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, nothing. Zip, 10. They gave them 7 points with a pick 6, and we still spanked their ass. Oh, but the refs, the Eagles had no penalties, blah, blah, blah. The Eagles were just better. Penalties, no penalties, whatever. There was not one point in that game you thought the Dolphins could hang with them on Sunday Night Football, and the Eagles just flexed their muscles like they are about to get into this stretch here where we were kind of worried about them not playing their best football throughout the start of the year. But now you finally got that nice stretch of a tough stretch of you check against the Dolphins. You got a team that's always played you tough that we'll talk about in a little bit in Washington. And then you go Chiefs, Dallas, 49ers, Dallas again.
Hard schedule
Buffalo,
coming up.
You got a tough schedule. So them starting to get grooving here on offense and defense. I'm feeling good about them. I mean, Jalen Carter, Jordan Davis. I mean, the way these two dudes have stepped up, where the Eagles were one of the worst rushing defenses in the league last year. You bring in these two young studs, nothing. Shut down. Less than 3 yards a carry throughout the whole season. I mean, these guys are monsters. They just body people. When you have to double team these two young guys and you let guys like Fletcher Cox, Brandon Graham, Josh Sweat, Hassan Reddick, you can go on and on. You let these guys go one-on-one, all pro players go one-on-one because you have to double team the rookies. It just stretches this defense out more. I didn't even hit on the safety edition, getting him from Tennessee. I mean, thank you again. You give us AJ Brown and what's the safety's name right now? I forget his name off the top of my head. But
what is going on with that, man? Like, why? Like, Rabel has allowed.
He has allowed it too. I think that's
what I'm saying.
Yeah, no, yeah. I
Like,
agree.
and I don't really get that, dude. Like, Rabel's a good coach. Like, Rabel knows Rabel knows how to coach against the Baltimore Ravens and the Patriots super fucking well, let alone people in his own division.
No.
Um,
But then
but to
just to
that
keep
point,
giving up the talent that he's
yeah,
allowed
dude,
walk out of that building
it's wild.
and AJ and now Kevin Byard. I mean, the guy has just been nothing but close but spectacular for his whole career there. I mean,
Yep.
he on the way out, he was, thanking everybody. He loved it down there in Nashville, which Nashville's great. And AJ gets to him in the locker room and goes, "Hey, you're a winner now. We win here. You're not a loser like you are down there in Tennessee. We win football games, and that's the culture we have here."
You're a winner now. You're
That's you see that AJ
yeah,
Brown said
I
that
did,
to
but
him.
I forgot about that quote. That's amazing, dude. But it's true. That is the Eagles culture right now, dude. And a point that I really quickly want to jump in on real fast, dude, talking about this Miami game, because what we have found is, listen, I'm going to continue to boost Miami up. They're not ready for the big moment yet. I think that Tua, if he continues to play the way he's playing, I'm getting this out of the way. Tua keeps playing the way he's playing, he's going to get a contract this year, and he should. And Miami's going to become a dangerous squad. There's no doubt about that. They've got the majority of their team locked up for the next 3 to 4 years at a minimum. You get Tua, you're going to have 5 to 6, depending on how long you sign him. But the thing that was so crazy to me, man, and there's two guys that played rugby in college, watch international rugby all the time with our team. Unless you watch the sport, you don't really get it as an American. From what they're talking about, Shirley just disappeared. It's all right. I'm talking to a ghost. I'm talking to a wall.
I'm working on something here. Sorry.
Um, but dude, it's like the way that you guys just roll. It's like it's not even like watching college football at your speed of play. It's like watching soccer or international rugby. The way that your offensive line sets up for, 5 yards, then 15, pass play. Okay, now we're gonna do the huddle. We're gonna do the whatever it's called, the push. We're gonna push. Okay, got that first down. On to the next. Okay, let's rush. Jalen Hurts, drop back. On to AJ Brown. Okay, on to Goddard, drop back. It's like your guys' tempo is unlike anything right now that I've seen. And the reason why I just spoke it that way is because, dude, if you watch that game, that is the Eagles' offensive tempo. It's one after the other, after the other, after the other. Okay, stop. There is no like check down. Okay, Hurts needs to get in the pocket. Let me survey the field. He is so confident in that offensive line. He breaks the huddle, and I've not once seen Jalen Hurts go like this and check a defensive player for his offensive line to get set. It's wild.
That's a great point. I really haven't noticed that, but yeah. No,
It's
I think you're
wild,
right
dude.
there.
I mean, no,
He
but it's
trusts
like
Kelsey,
he
Johnson, and all
he
those guys to
trusts,
take care of it.
and you have to be really into football to get what I'm saying right now. But like that is so different than other players. That other players have to step in. Lamar Jackson doesn't have that luxury.
Yeah.
He has to check where the defensive line is when he's playing
He'll
Pittsburgh.
go, there's the mic and all that, but
Yeah,
yeah, he's not really shifting much. He's
not at
letting his
all,
guys
dude.
rock.
He's exactly, dude. And you saw that so well in this Miami game, especially against a team whose front seven is legit, bro. And you're gonna see, and I believe you're gonna see the same thing coming up this week against Washington, who's got another very legit front seven starting five, right? So I'd love to hear kind of more of your outlook as a fan of what I just described of that tempo. That is so quick, dude, because it's not like the NFL. The NFL is 2 or 3 plays. Let's pause. Let's take a breath. Let's go. You guys don't. Your offense is boom, 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 boom. It's like watching a soccer game.
Yeah, and that's when it gets frustrating when everybody, the fans and stuff, get frustrated with Brian Johnson, the OC, is when you see things like that, the way that they can just go bang, 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 and then he tries to mess with it a little too much, and it just doesn't work. We're like, what are we doing here, guys?
Sure.
Like, do the things that work.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
just
yeah.
just get the ball in the hands of your star players. Get the ball
Yep.
in Devontae's hands more. Like, that's the one thing I need to see moving forward is you've seen Dallas finally start to get some action.
Yep.
AJ's had 125 yards in 5 straight games. I mean, that's insane. And then, you can run the ball with Swift and Penny. Well, not Penny hasn't really gotten it, but, Kenny Gainwell and Scott. So you just need to start seeing these evolutions of the way you can just move the ball, and just don't overthink yourself. Because they'll do these screen plays every once in a while, and you're just like, why? Why? Throw the ball downfield. Throw the ball 3 yards down the field. Get it in their hands. Stop moving things around. And we're not Miami. We're not doing a lot of motions. We're not, hey, look over here, look over here. We're look at us in the eyes, and we're gonna put it right down your throat. That's the way this offense works. That's the way this defense works. Don't overthink it. We're gonna take it from you.
I love that, dude. I love that. And I think to kind of both those points, if I could ask you right now, I think that if you were to ask me, what my answer would be. What is the Ravens' biggest attribute? Is it the defense? Is it the offense? Well, up until now, it's been the D, right? If the offense plays the way just played against the Lions, if we can do that kind of week in, week out, it's going to be our offense. But what I want to know for you, shutting out and that under hit, by the way, you and I, that lock, dude, that earthquake lock. I mean, shout out to God. You know what I'm saying? We held it down for the set under 51. But I want to know from you, from your standard of beating a team like that we've seen put up 70, that we saw, right? Put up 70 points against a Denver Bronco that has blown teams out. What is the biggest attribute right now for these Eagles? Is it that tempo that we just talked about, or is it that your defense can shut down basically any offense?
Right now?
Right now, like going
right now, it's the defense. The way the defense has battled through injuries.
Yeah.
Where, your secondary has been, you're dealing with guys you pick off the street. Like you bring in Bradley Roby and then he gets hurt. Blankenship and Terrell Edmonds. And now you got a new safety back there now. And all these guys, Josh Jobe. And whenever you just keep bringing these guys in, Slay was out for a couple of games. Bradbury had a concussion. The way that they've been able to move along and bring in guys week after week and still produce as a defense is huge. Just because of that defensive line is so nasty that the rest of the guys can just you just got to stay close. If you stay a couple yards within your receiver, that they're not going to have enough time to get the ball to them. And that throw becomes a lot harder and easier for you as a defender to make a play on. They still haven't that many interceptions really on the year. Like they haven't had too many turnovers. And you can start seeing that to kind of pile up here as they start to get more and more guys healthy again.
So I got to ask you another quick question before we get off the Eagles talk and move into our predictions for this upcoming week and then our bets. But I want to know, dude, do you think that Jalen is thinking there have been times where Lamar has not thought enough about, bro, you got paid. Stop being stupid with the ball.
Yeah,
because
Jalen's
you saw
overthinking it.
I think he is, dude.
I think he's being told it. Get down, get down.
Yeah. Really?
Yeah.
Who in the organization would be doing that though? You know who this guy is. You think it's guys around him who are like, dude, you better fucking step up?
Nah, it's from the top down. It's always the way it's been. Jeffrey Lurie and Howie are telling Nick, and Nick's like, hey, we need you come January.
Yeah.
And I think him hurting the knee a little bit, which they won't say what it was. They said it wasn't from this past game. It was something from before, maybe practice or a game before. And it's weird that they won't say it. So I'm guessing it's like an MCL sprain or something that he's just going to go through it. Sure. But I mean,
that's smart?
I don't know. I mean, you got a really tough stretch of your schedule where you kind of need them.
That's what I'm saying. Do you let him get this week off when you're just playing the division rival?
That's been a big talk, whether you have Mariota in there or not. No, I mean, I think Jalen's very confident in his own body and what he does to prepare each and every week. If he wants to play, let him play. And I have faith that they can keep him upright against this team. Like the Washington defense should be way better than they are. They should. They got first 100%. Round picks all over it, and they can't get it done. No. So if you can run the football, you get Jalen moving a little bit. I'm not concerned about it too much yet. I mean, we'll have to see. It's definitely something to keep an eye on. But yeah, no, he definitely, the way he takes off and he'll literally sit down when he's moving, and you're just like, oh, you feel like last year he was getting that edge and trying to burn a guy, stiff arm him into the ground. Yep. Now he's just like, I got 255 million behind me. Like I need to make sure I can just live to play the next play.
He does though, dude. And like to me, but like is where I'm coming from is that to me is a recipe for disaster. because
What?
I have
Thinking too much?
yeah, well, because dude, I've said from the beginning, and you've kind of echoed it, but you've let me go out on this limb as not being a fan. I have said from the beginning that Jalen Hurts is the cloth of Patrick Mahomes, and Patrick Mahomes is the cloth of Tom Brady, the greatest of all time, right? And so where I'm going with that is when Patrick got that $490 million deal, you've never seen Patrick overthink
I
his
agree.
play. And what I'm saying is, Hurts is that type of dude. Hurts can go on and get you with the way that this kid is playing and with the way that clearly the Eagles are set up in their structure of how well thought out of a team they are to surround their quarterback with talent. He's a guy that in his career should be fighting to get 1, 2, possibly 3 rings. He should be thinking that way. But to me, he doesn't need to be overthinking. And I think that it's to each his own. Some guys have some personalities where they're able to overcome that. Some guys don't, right? But maybe Jalen feels like he's got more, more to show people than Patrick does. But do you see what I'm saying there? Patrick got that money, and we've never said that about
No,
Patrick.
I agree. I definitely think he has had some weird moments throughout this season where he just
Yeah, yeah,
wasn't
yeah.
clicking right. I think some of that has to do with the play calling with another new offensive coordinator, where the last 2 years he had the same guy in Steichen. Um, I think that some of it was growing pains. A little bit was him, maybe not in his head, but just trying to, like, where Lamar kind of struggled at the beginning of the year,
Hmm.
becoming that pocket passer where
Sure, sure, sure.
he didn't want to run. Now he's starting to feel it. He's starting to get in that groove. I have no doubt in my mind Jalen Hurts, because we've seen it. We saw him throw for 300 yards in the Super Bowl and
Right,
almost
right,
win it. So
right.
I'm not worried about it one bit. I mean, he'll be able to. He's starting to get in that groove offensively. Like that pick six was so weird in that game too,
Yeah.
where he had a guy in his face and I don't know, bounces off the guy's head. And yeah, he's had some weird plays this year for sure. And for them to be 6-1, 5-1, 6-1, it's just a testament of how much better they can be. So
100%, 100%, dude. All right, what do you think? You want to look into next week, or you want to go straight into bets?
yeah, let's go right into it and we'll
All
talk
right,
about,
let's talk about it, dude.
So I
Um,
mean, we're red hot betting. I mean, we're
we
we're
don't
we're
stop.
we're making moves here. And this parlay we're gonna hit you with, it's gonna hit. I
It's gonna.
feel it.
We're ripping off the condom with this parlay. That's the only way to put it.
Last week was a weird week. Didn't dive into too much of the other games because, Seattle, Arizona, Green Bay, Denver. Chiefs, L.A. really wasn't even a game. New England, I mean Buffalo. That's really the only other game. But I kind of want to talk about them coming up with this upcoming week with their bets. But
Oof.
I mean, is that you want to kind of start with that one first? What are you thinking?
Well, the first thing I think is that I just had some sort of attack on the eye glands, but it doesn't matter. I'm fighting through it. Um, I want to say one thing, dude. You know what's crazy? Depending on the math that you use, dude, we're halfway through the season this week. You see me right now?
Yeah.
Uh, like I
You're
don't
that
know.
emotional about these picks right now?
Oh
That's
my
like,
god. Yeah. Well, listen, I put it out for the fans, and we do whatever we can do. All right, let's get into it. Well, dude, real quick before we touch on what you said, dude, I want us to recap what happened in that Tampa Buffalo game.
yeah.
That at home you're only winning 24-18, dude. Like I, the testament that you and I have been saying on this show, and when we get the $100 million deal, this is going to be one of the lines that when people go back and say that they were overnight successes, we're going to be able to say, no, bitch, we've been doing this shit since day one. Buffalo truly
You're
continues to
really
prove.
battling there,
No,
man. I
dude,
respect
I'm
it.
fighting through. I'm trying to find it. Buffalo truly just continues to prove that they just want Allen to go out there and win games. They literally are taking a Green Bay Mike McCarthy standard. Go out there, Josh, and just play and win. We're not going to give you a running game. Our defense, we paid guys that are getting hurt. That's no one's fault. You can't blame Von Miller for getting hurt, because before he got hurt, he was a dog. He was a dog.
Tre'Davious White and Hyde and all these other guys. Yeah, you
But
can't blame.
all
Matt
the other
Milano and yeah.
exactly. You can't blame guys for getting hurt. But what you can say at some point is, number one, you got to blame Allen for having happy feet, number one, and for taking too many hits. But number two, I don't understand how clearly you're seeing that when what's the head coach of the Giants? Dable. When
Dable.
Dable left you, your quarterback has regressed. Go out and get somebody for him that doesn't make him regress as a quarterback coach and as an offensive coordinator. Number one. And number two, that you didn't try to pick up Kareem Hunt, that you're not making a move to try to get Saquon, that you're not making moves to go get Jacobs when he was thinking about leaving.
I like Dalvin Cook. You know, he's number one running back on a couple of my teams. All right.
Yeah, go out and get Dalv. That you
or
didn't
not
know.
Dalvin. James.
James. But you understand what I'm saying, though, dog.
Yes.
That you're not going out and giving this guy a true. Listen, football games are won on two things. At least Super Bowls are defense and the tempo of your run. If you can set a tempo with your run, your receivers have all day to make up cake. If you can push that line, whether it's 3 yards, 4 yards, 7 yards, a first down, if you can push that line with your back, your receivers are getting open all day long. And Buffalo doesn't want to do that, dude. So what I want to ask you is, are we seeing the young core of this quarterback class, Lamar Jackson, Jalen Hurts, Justin Herbert, Trevor Lawrence, now Brock Purdy? Are we seeing guys like this? Are they Tua now? Are they kind of running away from Allen? Because yes, the kid is winning games. I'm not saying that. Their record right now is what? They're 6-1 or 5-3. 5-3. So yes, they got a winning record. And yes, ugly. Overall, he's got a winning record. But you look at his history right now. The kid has gotten manhandled in the playoffs. The kid has gotten beaten at home in the snow against Burrow. I didn't even mention Burrow. I mean, what does Buffalo do again before we turn back to our bets? I know that they're coming out of a win here, but you only won 24-18 against Baker Mayfield and a Tampa Bay team that doesn't know what to do without Tom Brady, and they don't know what to do at the head coaching position. And you're supposed to be this prodigy that's keeping up with Mahomes, with Hurts, with Burrow, with Lamar. And you're 5-3. In a division, frankly, that outside of the greatest coach of all time, you should now be running since Brady left. And you haven't been. You've been hanging on by a thread.
Oh, and you're kind of letting Miami take over that spot, honestly.
You're letting Miami take over and wait to see what happens when Aaron Rodgers is healthy. Is he going to beat you? Is he going to split with you?
No. Yeah.
What do they do, dude?
It's definitely a look yourself in the mirror type of season for them. It's we got all this and that, but they need to find their offensive identity. It can't just be Josh.
And step up. Yeah.
They got to start committing to the run more. We've been saying this for 3 years now.
Yeah. At least, 5 years, 10. Yeah. Since he got it.
Every time you see them in the playoffs and you have guys like who's Devin Singletary right the last couple of years, you move on from him.
Yep.
And you're just like, you need to get better. Now, I like Cook. I think he can be the guy, but he's just not a power back, right? You need to figure out ways to ways that they can get him the ball other than design runs, right? Whether it's screen passes, whether it's getting him out on a hitch pass with your guard pulling. You need to get a little bit more creative where, they like to call those like RPO screenplays a run play almost now. That's so close to the line of scrimmage where they're just kind of stagnant. It's 5-step, 3-step drops, Josh, go, sling it. And they need to start being a little bit more creative on the offensive side of the football where their offense isn't methodical. It isn't now Diggs, now Kincaid, who is starting to come into his own. And I was really waiting for that too. Dalton Kincaid, the tight end. But, Gabe Davis really hasn't been able to get too much involved in their offense. So, I mean, it's really just coming down to finding that identity and not thinking that they're bigger than they are, because right now you might get lost in the shuffle.
Dude, that's, I guess, to put a pin in it, what you just said is the tagline. You're going to get lost in the shuffle.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the truth, because now with the way that the Ravens are emerging, you know that Cincinnati would not have the record or the way that their games have played out if Burrow wasn't hurt. I've said that as an in-division rival since the beginning. Miami is emerging. Patrick Mahomes is always Patrick Mahomes, right? And I think that when Justin Herbert gets linked up, thank God, by the way, I'm back. Thank you for all those that were pulling for me. When Justin Herbert, dude, finally, when he gets a Dougie P, and though Trevor and Dougie P have struggled some this year, when he gets a Dougie P, that's a dangerous squad. Yeah. So, all right, dude, let's hit it. Let's go into the first week. Let's start it.
You want to go underdogs first or favorites first?
I think that we like to build here, and you are a skeptic as always. So I say we start with the unders and the underdogs because you like the overs and the faves.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Fair enough.
I'm telling you, I will never bet an under ever again. Ever. I tried going back to it. I tried giving it a taste. It just fails miserably. Though you know the last game that I bet an under in?
What?
On this show or ever in my life was Miami put up 70 points on Denver. So I'm just like, forget it. It's just not for me.
Okay,
you
but
can
that's
bet
because...
unders. I like underdogs. Just betting total points unders is the worst. It's the worst thing ever. I'm not saying you, but everybody out there listening.
Yeah,
but I'm an money is there to be made. I just don't have a feel for it. You know, I have a feel for winners. I have feel for touchdowns. Like that's what I do here. I don't settle for field goals and defensive stops unless it's my birds. But when I come and I go to sit down on the TV to watch football, I got the birds on and I got red zone on. And you know what red zone's on for? To see touchdowns. So when it comes down to it, I don't have a feel for the unders, but I do like underdogs. And there's a lot of underdogs that I'm kind of digging.
Let me tell you something.
I'm crackling around in my brain right now, and I'm just like,
who is an unders whisperer though? You gotta give me the credit. When I give the ladies and gentlemen
Shane is too,
on this show an under, does it not hit? You know what? I've had a lot of experience with my Calvins and with my Hanes. I'm a Hanes Calvin guy. I alternate between. I also like I like a thong here and there. I mean, I'm not saying that I'm looking at thongs. I'm saying I might be wearing a thong. Trilly knows I have, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, when the studio gets updated, when we hit the lotto to update the studio, and then we will hit the $100 million deal, you'll see my dump truck. I wear it well. I mean, Trill obviously is known as the bod, but no one's got cheeks like Hollywood. That's all I'll say. Fair enough?
Fair enough.
All right, let's go into it, bro. Unders and underdogs. I want to talk about a game. Let's start this betting conversation with some tempo. And it's the Battle of East Rutherford, dog. It's the Battle of East Rutherford.
Yeah,
it's home, be home. We got to talk about it, dude. Jets
35.5.
Jets on the road in their own house, -3, Giants +3 as the home team. You know it's going to be a 50-50 split. We're talking about stockbrokers versus blue collar.
Or do you think they're what fan base is up more on their team right now? It's got to be the Jets, right?
Oh, it's got to be the Jets. But here's the deal, though. Here's the deal. I heard. I'm not gonna say the source. A New Jersey source. I'm not gonna say the source's name. A New Jersey source. You got to understand. And to my Jet fan, Uncle Jim, Jimmy, Brian. Shout out to all of you. The Jet fan base is a blue collar fan base. So though they are up on their team, these motherfuckers, they sell their tickets. They gotta get the scroll. They gotta make, when they see that the Jets are -3 and they see that their ticket price went up by $35, they're putting that on StubHub, dog. They're putting that on VidSeat, dog. Shout out the Jets. Jets, Jets. Shout out Jimmy, my main dog, surviving cancer out there. We don't want to talk about it, but we talk about it. All right, but let me get back to it. I'm getting passionate. I'm talking about family. I'm sorry. Jets -3. Giants coming off of a big win when they were +2.5, division rival. Tyrod Taylor ended up playing that game last week. I took them plus the 2.5 when we thought that Danny Dimes was playing. They won 14 to what was it? 14-3. Let me look back real quick. They
7.
won. They're either way. The Giants needed a win and they got a win. And I thought they were going to get a win with Daniel Jones, and they actually got the win 14-7. Excuse me. They actually got the win with Tyrod, probably the better choice. Either way, I don't know what I like here more, but the reason why I'm bringing it up is not more about the 3 points. This under is crazy, bro.
35.5.
35.
Wow.
Is it just now? What that screams to me is they're saying this Jets defense is so damn good, and their offense doesn't know how to score, and the Giants just don't know how to do anything. I think that 35 number is solely based on the Jets and nothing to do at all about the Giants, except that they literally don't know how to play football. They don't know how to play football.
Yeah, if I'm leaning anyway, I'm probably taking the under there because that's just going to be a bad football game. But knowing that, it might be a 40-40 shootout.
That's what I'm saying. It could be, dog. It could be. Because this might be the game that Sauce Gardner forgets how to play, corner.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying? So I don't know why I brought this up because I think I'm leaning towards the Jets, but they're minus the 3. But we had to talk about this because it's the Battle of East Rutherford. We always talk the Battle of East Rutherford.
We lean towards the under there, which is kind of insane. We're not taking it, but we lean towards it.
We lean towards it. We might sprinkle something. That feels like a good anytime touchdown type game.
What?
Like that feels like a good Saquon anytime.
Yeah,
I could see Jones getting one anytime if he's playing that day.
Yeah, what's up with him? Do you rather
The white
rock
boy
with
likes to get
Tyrod?
frisky with his feet, dog.
Do you rather rock with Tyrod or do you go back to Danny?
This is a great question, man. We haven't even given a bet yet. That's what I love.
Yeah, we got to get rolling here.
No, it's all right. The fans stick with us. But yeah, the
It's
episode's
Halloween weekend here. Come on.
You're not going anywhere, dog.
I'm going out.
Where are you going? Where are you going?
We're going to Kevin's spot in Westchester. Anybody wants to come hang?
No invite? What the fuck?
You can come, bro. Send it.
Who's we?
What?
Who's we? Family?
Yeah, family.
Who? Who's the fan? Who's showing up?
You know the fam. All right, come on. Give me a pick.
I don't got a pick for this game. I want to touch on the Daniel Jones.
Danny or Tyrod? Yes or no?
I think that if you don't play Danny, the fan base is out on him. He's got to be able to play.
The fans are out on him. Yeah,
the fans are out on him.
They got to sell to the fan base that he's more banged up than you think. It's not that we don't have faith in him right now or we have more faith that Tyrod can win us football games. You need to keep selling them that, the injury, he's still just not right. We don't want him to get hurt again. Like, we rather him just be healthy. Yeah, and he's paid, so.
And it's a battle. And at the end of the day, dog, this is the Super Bowl. This is the Battle of East Ruth. This is the first part of the Battle of East Ruth. So, do we ride him?
What?
Are either of us touching this game?
No, that's
okay. On to the next then. On to the next. All right. Let me give my first pick of the game. Am I crazy? Rams +7 on the road to Dallas. They're coming off a loss. I picked their spread last week. Pittsburgh won outright. I think that this is too big for the Cowboys. And no matter the way you cut it, the Rams have played in big moments. They kept that game close, but they lost to a bad team in the Pittsburgh Steelers. And Pittsburgh did just have Glorilla show up to the town to see Mike Tomlin. Shout out Glorilla. I like the Rams here, man. Rams +7.
I like the Rams.
I like the Rams here +7. Simple and easy.
I just don't that offense that Dallas has they just aren't clicking right now. They don't know what they're doing. We've barely talked Dallas, which is nice, by the way.
I wanted to bring that up. We've not talked Dallas in the last 3 weeks.
Just because they're so meh.
Yeah, exactly.
They're winning football games, but it's not anything crazy. They lost one, and it wasn't anything crazy. So it's just, other than getting their ass kicked by the 49ers, but they're just kind of in limbo right now where if they lose this game, then it's like, okay, now we're talking. Now we're talking. But yeah, no,
Now we're talking.
I like the Rams. Their offense, they're starting to get in a groove with the balance of Cup and Puka. So they just got to figure out a run game a little bit, which I'm a little nervous about, but we'll see. Let me go to my first underdog
Give it to me, bro.
because I don't take unders anymore.
Obviously.
Bengals 5.5.
Ooh, break
No
that
Brock
pick down for me,
Purdy,
bro.
concussion. The rest of that team's still a little banged up. This is a prime spot for Joe Burrow to come in and slay a dog and be like, hey, the Bengals are back. We're for real. Even though the 49ers are banged up and such, but this is a prime opportunity that you can go and keep this momentum rolling for that team to try to catch the Vens.
Let me ask you a question. Do you think that Purdy's actually hurt, or are they saving him because they don't want to hear doubt or say this kid can't play in the real games?
Nah, I mean it's a concussion, and he did get
Yeah,
rocked.
but at
And
these
it
days,
wasn't the tush push's fault, and they don't know how to run it. That's why he got hurt. But anyway, no, I mean, I definitely think that is a thought that runs through their head,
right,
100%. I mean, the couple of big games that he's had to play in, he's gotten absolutely murdered
right.
in the NFC Championship game in last week. So,
Yep.
no, it definitely is a cause for concern a little bit, but yeah, this would be the first game that you were like, all right, Brock, you need to really start to put this together. And the fact that Debo probably isn't playing, Trent Williams will probably be out there, but he's not 100%. So do they really want to put him out there with that not 100% circumstances for him?
100%.
So I think
My
Sam
next
Darnold
one's
stinks.
okay. We
Yeah,
hold him
that's another one of
accountable.
your guys that you hold on to.
Please, please. I mean, listen, you want to hold on to Bryce Harper who can't play in the big moments. Sam was the first.
Bryce Harper and
Excuse me,
Sam
Sam
Donald.
was the first round
Darnold, are
pick
you kidding?
who
Move
got
on.
dealt
Move
a
on.
shit situation, going to the Jets, right out, looking to be the man, and nobody wants to talk about that. Okay, he went into he went into a building on fire and said rescue 5 kids, and he got all
right,
5
let me go next. Let me go
and one
next
of
to
their
keep this
arms
train
burned
rolling.
off.
Colts plus 1.5. They're winning this game outright over the New Orleans Saints.
Wow, dog.
At home in the dome.
Yeah, why
Mr. Irsay needs to tweet out whether the dome's open or closed or not. We need to know that. But yeah, Colts are winning this game outright.
Why
Gardner
are they
Minshew's
catching
rocking
points,
and rolling.
though?
The Saints stink. Give me the point.
Titan plus 3 at home against Atlanta. How is Atlanta, or sorry, plus 2.5?
Because they don't know what they're doing at quarterback, whether it's Willis or Levis. I think it's like they're going to try to do them both. What?
Is Henry playing?
Derek? Yeah.
Yeah. Then it's Titans plus 2.5.
Yeah,
What are we talking
it's
about here?
Tractorcito season here.
Please. If Derrick Henry's playing against Atlanta, it's plus 2.5 all day long. All right. On to the next. You want to take this next one, bro, or me?
Yeah, you go.
Okay.
So I got Bengals 5.5, Colts 1.5 right now. So I need one more.
I feel like too much money. I feel like too many people are going to bet the Browns at plus that 3.5, even without Deshaun, with the way that this team has been rolling. I mean, they beat the 49ers without him.
I looked at that too.
I think that there's too many people going that way. I think the crowd is betting Cleveland. And what we say here, when the crowd bets one way, we got to go the other. I mean, that's just the truth, right? The total on that game is 37.5. And that's a game that I could see being what you just said, a 40-40 shootout. Even with that Cleveland defense. I don't know. I don't like it. I don't like it at all.
I got 2 games that I keep going back and forth on because I keep seeing the stupid TikToks, and it's home underdogs of 3.5 or more against a division rival are like 44-10 over the last 3 seasons. And 2 games that are, there's 3 this week that are all sticking out and that are making me, normally I would go heavy on the favorites here, but that stat keeps making me rethink. And that's the Eagles. I almost said it, Washington. It's Houston, Carolina, and it's the Vens versus
Vens. And I don't know how I feel about that Ravens game.
And the Cardinals. So like that's a big spread for the Vens. I know the offense is clicking, but the Cardinals still have a decent defense. and you just don't really. I'm in with their offense, but we got to see it for multiple weeks. The Washington always plays the Eagles tough, even though the Eagles take care of business
Yep.
down there
Yep.
more. And then I love my Texans, but this might be just a letdown spot where the
Yeah,
Panthers need their first win.
I was
Battle
about to
against
say
number
that.
1 and number 2 quarterbacks, and
I'm taking the Panthers plus
I,
three and a
I
half.
think I am too.
Oh.
I think I am too.
Oh!
Yeah,
And our earthquakes have been
they've been
absolutely
money.
sensational. Plus 3.5. Carolina all day long. We don't care. We go where you are, ladies and gentlemen. Carolina plus 3.5. That is the last.
I can
Dude,
see
that's the
this being a
first.
field goal game. I don't see. Maybe the Panthers don't win,
100%.
and I like my Texans. I love them. Been riding
100%.
them all year. Been all over them. But
That's
this is
our
a tough
yep.
spot for them.
That's our first pick, by the way. And your first pick was Bengals, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's our first unders and underdogs where we just took underdogs. We didn't take a single under.
Yeah.
That better pay. All right, next overs to faves. Let's talk about it, dude. Jets minus the 3. I'm going for it. Jets minus the 3. Keep it simple. Keep it easy. I think that I've said it before. I'll say it again. The Jets have shown people, to Salah's point, they haven't won the game. Shout out the cat. By the way, we getting a weather girl pick or what?
Oh yeah, we gotta hit her up. What do you think, Ted? Cat
Ted's,
pick?
Ted is a fatty right now.
He's a chunk.
Here, hold on. You want me to get mine? Hold on.
No, come on, keep it rolling.
Pause it. This is Sammy.
You're calling Ted fat. Poor
Hold on,
Sammy.
hold on. Pause it real quick and get a photo for the thing.
Where were we?
Did you get a
Got it.
photo?
Yeah.
Okay. Love you. I just
Keep
tossed
it moving. Keep it moving.
All right, I got the Jets minus the 3. Salah said it. I've believed it all season long. They haven't won all the games, but they have made some quarterbacks look damn awful, including Patrick Mahomes. I'm going to say it again. I was riding them high going into the season. This defense hits like a 2000s defense. They hit like a Ray Lewis squad. They hit like a Roquan Smith. They don't stop. They hit like a J.J. Watt in his prime. They're ready to go. They're ready to play with or without Aaron Rodgers. They're winning the Battle of East Rutherford. I'm riding blue collar all week long. Shout out Jimmy. Jets. Jets minus the 3.
I like that. I'm going the over in the Minnesota Green Bay game, 41.5.
I like that pick a lot. Break it down for me though. You just think that the defense don't show up, right?
Yeah, I don't think the defenses show up. I think which is weird. I saw a stat the other day, like the Vikings are only 1-6 to the over this season, which is kind of wild, but they missed by like 4 points. Like their average missing it is like a field goal. So I like that where they're at. 41 is not a lot. Their offense has still been able to put up points even without Jay Jetta out there. I think the Packers offense is due to try to figure a couple things out there, especially with that defense that they have in Minnesota is not that great. I can see this 28-17 covers easy. So.
Who do you think wins this game though? Because I like the Vikings here, but you're kind of convincing me out of it with what you just said.
Why? I mean, I think the Vikings win this.
You think they win? It's a pick 'em.
Yeah. Now I definitely can see reasons why Green Bay can be in this game. But that being said, the Vikings this is their way to kind of keep this momentum rolling for them where they were about to blow it up. And all of a sudden you get a couple wins against some good teams. You're rolling. You need this win if you're Kurt Thuggins to keep it rolling here and not get moved at the deadline. And be able to set yourself up for another couple $100 million in the offseason. So this is just an opportunity where the Green Bay is not that great. This would be different if this team was, if it was like the Browns or a team with an elite side of the ball, and the Packers don't have elite anything on either side of the ball. So I just think that they would be able to put up some points and run away with it.
Okay, I'm going to take Yeah, I'm gonna take the Vikings minus 1.5 for my next pick. Then
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
I got my
Uh-huh.
next one already picked out too. Unless you want to go
You go ahead.
over 40.5 Jags to Steelers.
I like that too. I'm
Um,
rocking with you there. Another
Earthquake.
two earthquakes in an episode.
Over 40.5. And then I got, what do I have? Do I have one more? Wait a second. You took the min. I'm taking that. And then you got one more to give, brother.
Yeah. Um, which is tough looking at it here. Because I already got two overs that I really like.
I
Do I go three
there a
overs?
reason why you haven't talked about your team?
What?
Are you
Yeah.
waiting for that?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
That's gonna be a lock coming up here.
Got it.
Maybe a little alternate too.
Ooh.
Chiefs 7.
You're that high on them, huh? You think they cover?
The Broncos are just not. They're not good.
Yeah, they are garbage. But don't you think everybody's betting that, or that's like the one safe bet? Because I don't like that. That's a round number. Well, it's not a round number. It's 7. But you know what I'm saying. All right, I'll give it to you. Chiefs minus a 7. KC minus 7. Okay,
I just don't think Denver's that good. I
I
can
get it,
see
bro.
this being one of those games where the Chiefs let a team hang around more than they should and
Yep.
still win like they've been doing. I they're just and the snow kind of bothers me. There's gonna be like 14 inches of snow. I just don't
Is
see
there?
Russell. Yeah, yeah, I saw that today.
Oh fuck, dude.
Yeah, so maybe it kind of leads more toward the under there. Who knows? But weather's not real. Um,
Max. It's
and
all
then
generated by the
I
government.
just feel safe taking the Chiefs there. Honestly, that's just a safe pick. If it loses, whatever. But you feel good betting with the Chiefs here. You bet the Broncos, they lose by 21. You're
Yeah.
like, what the hell just happened? You know, I'm not trying to outsmart myself with that one. We're rocking with the Chiefs.
Want my HDL?
Yeah, go ahead. And then I
One
got
that
mine.
nobody expected me to ever say, neither did I. On the road to warm weather, plus 9.5 Pats.
I
They're
thought
coming off,
about them.
they're coming off a win. Miami coming off a loss. Miami definitely wins this game. They're at home. Um, there's too much going on in Belichick's land right now that's been clicking that keeps this game close. This again is going to be a field goal game. I don't see it being the typical 9-6, 12-9, 3-6 game. But I do think that it's a 2026 game. It's a 15-22 type run. I don't think that Miami delivers here. But I think they win the game outright. But I like the Patriots covering that number. That's a big number. Is Judon still out?
I think he's been ramping it back up, but we'll see.
Yeah, Pat's plus the 9.5.
No.
What
Sorry.
do you hit it?
Um,
Do it.
Joel Embiid was tweeting 5 minutes before the game tonight, and everybody's freaking out. They're like, "Oh,
About
the
us?
Sixers are screwed tonight." Yeah, about us. But anyway, my HTL is gonna be the team that I've been avoiding this whole time. I'm taking the Birds. They dominate down there. I'm taking an alternate 9.5.
Whoa. What type of
Every time,
money's on that, bro?
what?
Type of money's on that?
I'm trying to pull it up, but like it won't give me. I hit show all, and it won't go past plus
Go to
11.
alternate spreads.
I am. See, it won't go past. I don't know. Can you look it up for me?
Yeah, I'll look it up for you. All right, let's go to our next let's go to the parlay. And dude, I think I want to ask you a quick question. So I want to ask you what you think about this. I know you don't like betting unders, but you brought up the snow and you brought up how weather's not real. For the first pick, do we take the under in this Chiefs Broncos game? Do we take under 45.5? 14 inches of snow, or does this team know how to play in the snow and they're still going to score?
I feel like 46 is a lot for the snow, though.
That's what I'm saying.
If it was down in the 35s or something like that, I would be like, nah, I still like an
I'm
over
saying that
there.
too. Yep.
But yeah, with it being that much, yeah, especially with both teams really don't run the ball that much either.
No. Under 40, under 45.5. Um, 45.5. KC v Denver. Okay. I'm gonna give my next one real quick. Man, I'm not touching the Ravens this week. I don't want to put any pressure on these guys. I
How
want to see
about
how
the
they
over
perform.
40 in Jacksonville,
I,
Pittsburgh?
the one that we took, our lock,
Yeah, our
our earthquake.
earthquake.
Yeah, I'll put that in. I'll put that in. The over. Okay. Um, and then
You like Minnesota, Green Bay there? Do you want to go Minnesota or you rather go the points?
no, I don't want to touch that game. We got too much going on there. It's an in division thing. I want to do something with this Browns Seahawks game. Do we take the Hawks at home? Everyone is betting the Browns here.
Yeah.
The only reason why the Browns are catching points is because Deshaun is not in at quarterback. That's the only reason. Otherwise, this is flipped. If Deshaun's in, it's minus probably 4 to Cleveland.
And you think people are betting that
I
because
think that
Deshaun?
everybody's betting that. Everyone is still riding that the Browns beat the 49ers. Everyone. I mean, what do you think? Or is that not smart? Do we ride them out? Are the Browns the real deal? The Browns defense is the real deal, dude.
Yeah, and I don't know. The Seahawks have just been such an interesting team where
They've been meh for sure.
they have offensive weapons all over the place that you think they would be putting up more points, and they just haven't been.
Okay, I got a better one. We don't like that. Let me give you this one. Bears on the road plus 8.5.
The Bears.
Or do the Chargers come out and stomp here? Coming off a loss at home.
It's a big possibility. How about the over in that game? You like the over?
What's the score?
What? 46.5.
Yes. Bam.
Primetime unders are a big thing. Everybody loves talking about it. But I think the Chargers are going to come out, try to make a statement. I think Badgets can get you 10, 14 points. I like that. We need one more.
One more, baby. Give me one. We haven't talked Lions, but just
I was
saying.
thinking about it.
But I don't like that. I don't like how they've got the 7 after they're coming off of a massive loss. I mean, they could totally cover it, but I don't know. I could see it being a tight game. I think they win, but I don't want to bet the money line, obviously.
I don't like throwing Carolina in there.
Me neither. No.
I
like your pick. I like your pick with the Colts, though.
I
I
was
would
about
take
to say
that.
that.
Yeah, Colts plus the 1.5.
Yeah. Colts bang. 15 for 184.
I mean, dude, the rent's due, bitch. We come to play.
All right.
Let me get that in. Oh, and hold
That's
on.
it.
Yeah, that's it, baby. All right. Stay tuned. Cold Ones Conversations. We're back. Shout out Philly drinkers. Check out the new hats. Check out the glasses right here. Support us. Check out our cats. We love you. Roll Ravens. Roll Eagles. Super Bowl of the Birds coming. And we'll see you next week, ladies and gents.
God bless. Oh, late weather girl pick. Travis Etienne scores a touchdown. Book it. He's money on
Bang!
the year.